What is up, y'all? So, long story short, the other day I was, on late with a friend, Prime Miss Mr. Haley, you know him. And basically we were talking and we were like, you know what? Let's try and make a TikTok tonight because we did decent on that platform. And so we made one. And that was the freaking minute 30-second video that you all saw. Is I recorded that, then he screen recorded that and put that on his TikTok. So yeah, long story short, this is the more in-depth video. This is the one you want to watch. Today I'm going to be giving you my playoff predictions for the AFC and the NFC. So that's going to be cool. So, let's get right into it. Let's start off with the AFC. So, you know, I really didn't see the Steelers as being the team to beat this season, to be completely honest. I figured it would definitely have been the Chiefs, maybe even the Ravens, but the Steelers are doing very well so far. Still undefeated. I don't see them going undefeated all season. I don't think they're just built on that level, that caliber. I don't think they're that kind of a team. That's a whole nother level right there. I don't see that happening to them. However, I do think that they've done enough at this point that as long as they, win the games they need to win and don't have too many dumb losses, they should be able to, go in as the one seed, which is going to be super important this year because the one seed is the only seed that gets a bye, if I'm correct. It's a weird little thing how they did it. Not entirely sure how it works. But with the expanded playoffs, either way, you're going to want to get the one seed just for home field advantage and all that good stuff. So number two, I have the Chiefs, right? And this one's pretty self-explanatory. Patrick Mahomes, he's been playing very good. I mean, the thing about when you see Patrick Mahomes play this well so much, you just kind of become normalized to it, and that's not a very good thing because what he's doing isn't normal. I mean, he is for sure the best quarterback in the NFL right now, and I can't wait to see where his career goes. But that's a long story. Yeah, he has tons of weapons. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelsey. That's about it, honestly. Oh yeah, Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Le'Veon Bell. I mean, it's a good team out in Kansas City. Despite the fact that the Steelers will likely be the one seed, I still have the Kansas City Chiefs, coming out of the AFC in this hypothetical playoff situation. Um, Next up, we got the Titans, right? So the Titans, they were last year's dark horse team in the playoffs before they, upset the Patriots and the Ravens before eventually losing to the Chiefs. Um, There's really not too much to say about them. They haven't drastically improved from last season, in my opinion, at least. Um, AJ Brown's been doing pretty good, but Ryan Tannehill is, he's good for the fact that he's just, a game manager basically for Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is the real, star of this offense right now. And he's doing very well, obviously. I mean, great running back. Remains to be seen how long he'll be able to keep this up in his, career in general. Because running backs, tend to not have a long career. Remains to be seen how long he can keep it up and how much success the Titans will have around him. So far, they've done pretty good, I would say. But we will for sure see when the playoffs comes. And that will be interesting to me. Um, Last of the division winners, I got the Bills, right? So, I recently made a video called, ranking the best quarterback wide receiver duos in the league. And that was basically just one big Buffalo Bills hate video. Pretty funny hate video, but still a hate video. I really don't have that many issues against Buffalo, to be completely honest. Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen are doing very well. Um, the defense has regressed, though, and that definitely concerns me. Because last season, the defense is what carried the team, right? And now, despite the fact the offense has only gotten better, the defense has dropped off greatly in terms of, last season's expectations, which is concerning, especially when you're playing against the high-powered offense of, like, the Chiefs and the Ravens, potentially. So that's definitely concerning to me. They do have a pretty good offense. Um, the AFC East, it could hypothetically possibly get competitive with the Dolphins. Um, it remains to be seen if that would happen. If the Dolphins can, contend for a spot in the AFC East, but we will see what happens. And I think the Bills come out on top, however. So next up, I got the Ravens. Lamar Jackson has definitely regressed, in my opinion. At least he's not the dynamic. He's not as dynamic because teams are, learning that hey, to beat him, you need to make him to throw against you. And while he's still good at throwing, he's not like insane at it, right? He's good, like MVP level, because he can run. And now teams are learning, hey, you just rush three or even rush two, leave one as a spy, and make him beat you with the pass because he's a good passer, that's for sure, but he's not an insane passer. The offense, Hollywood Brown, has not looked as good as he used to last season. Kind of wonder what's up with that. Um, you know, I thought the Ravens would be the team to beat this year, them and the Chiefs, but apparently not. So yeah, that's the story for the Ravens. Um, teams, learn how to game plan against you, and that's what separates, the good quarterbacks from the great ones. Is how you do when they game plan against you. And we will for sure see that with Lamar Jackson, who, until he has some form of playoff success, he's going to have doubts, right? And if he does not win, or, if he does not do good this offseason, or this postseason, I guess is the proper term, if he does not do good this postseason, I think, the rumors are it's gonna go from like, hey, he might be a choker to, yeah, this dude cannot perform in the playoffs. We'll just call him Paul George. Stuff like that. So yeah, that's it with the Ravens. The Colts, that's one of those random teams, honestly, to me. It did not look like a team that I would think would, be in playoff contention. But, Philip Rivers is doing decent-ish, I guess. I mean, not great, obviously, but him and his 12 kids have moved up there, so is just barely holding on there, you know, not really exceeding expectations. Um, yeah, I think they'll make the playoffs, but I see them getting bounced in the first round, to be completely honest. They have no standout players on offense. It's just like T.Y. Hilton has taken a huge step back. Like, dude jumped off the cliffs type step back, so that's interesting for him. Very interesting for the offense as a whole, I guess. But yeah. And then the final team I have in the AFC East is the Miami Dolphins. Not the AFC East, just the AFC, y'all. Um, you know, they're doing better this season. As you know, I'm not going to go out here and say, hey, I was believing in Tua to lead the Dolphins to the playoffs. No, I did not think it was time for Tua to start. I was wrong, and I will gladly admit I was wrong about Tua, being the guy to lead the Dolphins at that point in time. Things have only gotten better for the Dolphins. They seem to be hitting the right stride at the right time. That was a mouthful. And it's just good vibes down in Miami. Um, I really don't think they'll have much playoff success. Meaning, I think they're going to like lose, possibly very badly. But the fact that they made the playoffs should definitely be an achievement for them. So now we move on to the NFC, right? So in the NFC, I have the Green Bay Packers as the one seed. Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams is for sure the best wide receiver quarterback duo in the league. There is no debating that. Aaron Jones is looking very good when he is healthy. They just seem like a very good team. The defense could obviously, use a step up or two. But other than that, they've been doing good. And I mean, people criticize them, obviously, for picking Love in the draft, which I mean is understandable. Especially when you think that, hey, they could have picked a, standout on defense or something and been getting much better results, possibly. But I mean, we'll just see and see how that works. So next up, I've got the Seahawks. The Seahawks have Russell Wilson, who is very, very skilled quarterback, very good quarterback. DK Metcalf might be one of the best wide receivers in the NFL right now. I mean, he is doing very well, making some very tough catches. If Seattle does have a weakness, it's going to be the defense, right? This is not the Legion of Boom defense anymore. This is just competent enough to get by, rely on the offense to outscore the other guy's defense, which is for sure going to be a problem in the playoffs. For now, it's smooth sailing in Seattle, but down the stretch, entering the playoffs, things could definitely get ugly on that defense, and that's my big concern with the team. Next, I have the Buccaneers, right? And this is a confusing one for some people because if you think about the Saints did beat the Buccaneers like what, 33-3, something crazy like that. And that is a, fairly big blowout win. I mean, good for the Saints and all. But when you look at that Buccaneers team, it just has so much more talent than the Saints team. I mean, Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, even though they're not fully up to speed, it looks like they are getting much more adjusted to the team. I mean, not even to say the other two guys that were, there before, Evans and yeah, I mean, the tight end situation there was already pretty good before they got Gronk. I mean, the Buccaneers do look, I mean, the defense looks very good. I mean, the Buccaneers look like a scary team right now. I personally don't think they're going to do good in the playoffs. That's just my doubt. That's my gut feeling right there. And so far, I'm what? 0 for 1 in gut NFL feelings, with Tua. But yeah, Buccaneers, I think they'll do pretty good in the rest of the season. Not necessarily the playoffs, but regular season, I definitely see them as doing very good. And then last, I have, it kind of pains me to say this, but I have the Giants. I feel like the NFL, this problem's just been, shown more and more, showcased more and more, recent years. With the Cowboys sucking, the Giants sucking, the Eagles sucking. I don't even know what the other team in that division is. I'm not even going to lie, but they suck too. I mean, it's the NFC least, y'all. This problem has been exposed in recent years, and it likely means that a very good team or a better team will not make the playoffs that probably deserves to make it, especially compared to the Giants. It's just an issue. I mean, the NFL is set up like this. Every now and then we get these, like, issues. But yeah, they're going to be irrelevant in the playoffs anyways, so not a big deal. I mean, every couple of years, you'll just get this where a division is significantly weaker than the other ones, and you just kind of have to play through it. I mean, it's nothing you can do about it besides changing the whole playoff format, and that's really not a good idea, in my opinion at least. And then, so for the first wild card, I got the Cardinals. Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins are very good. They are a very good wide receiver quarterback duo. They only have room to get better. The Cardinals have one of, if not the most exciting offenses in the league. As was the case with the Seahawks, however, their defense will be what does them in. Especially in the playoffs when you play against, like, say, the Buccaneers, who have a better defense and an extremely lethal offense. I mean, if you can't slow them down on offense and you get stopped once or twice, I mean, you are definitely in trouble then. Right? So that's the big issue with that Cardinals team. That's the only issue that I see giving them problems because the offense is firing on all cylinders right now. Next up, I have the Saints. As I said before, despite the fact that Drew Brees is injured, Taysom Hill is pretty good. All right, we've never really seen him get a chance to show himself, right? The way the Saints use him, he just doesn't get the chance that often, and this is his chance. And I have a feeling that he will take this chance and he will run with it. He will do his best to, just bring success to this team, despite the fact that everyone thinks their season, or at least their playoff hopes, are over with Drew Brees being out of the equation. Kind of surprised that they aren't starting Jameis. I mean, the one, the only crab legs. But yeah, Taysom Hill. I think he does decent at least. I mean, he has Kamara. Mike Thomas, he's hit or miss at this point if he plays in an actual game. But yeah, that's the situation for the Saints. Then lastly, I'll have the Rams, made the Super Bowl, what, 2 years ago at this point? And they've never really quite reached the, previous Super Bowl level. Still a very good team. It's just the Colts of this, division. They're just kind of doing everything they need to do to stay in the playoffs, keep their hopes alive. Um, Jared Goff he's pretty good at football, not gonna lie. Um, I mean, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, that's a very good, just two-man, line and, secondary right there. The Rams, I think if they played in a less competitive division, because they do play with the Seahawks and the Cardinals, two other teams that I fully expect will make the playoffs. I feel like if they played in a less competitive division, they would be doing a lot. Not necessarily a lot better, but they would do a lot better in the playoffs, and by that I mean they'd get a higher seed most likely. But that's about it for the Rams. And that's also about it for the video. So yeah, this is the longer video version of the minute 30. I will link the TikTok in the description down below, so y'all go check that out. Follow, subscribe, or whatever. I don't run that. But y'all should subscribe anyways, because it brings my beautiful content to thousands upon thousands of people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below if you think your team will make the playoffs. Agree with me, disagree with me, whatever the heck you want to do. I really don't care at this point. Just comment something, like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed. Yeah, have fun, y'all.